That's right, it's time for the Diecast Racing News. I'm Tom Spanners-Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
And we've decided to rebrand the DSPN to the Diecast Racing News because we think that encompasses more what this report's about. Alright, let's crack into it. First up, the DIRS is halfway through at RTR Diecast Racing League, and there has been some epic battles so far. If you haven't seen it, make sure you jump over to RTR. And then if you're looking for a race and you think you've got what it takes to hang out with the Outlaws, there's an open call at the moment for drivers to enter their modified cars over at chaoscanyon.online. But be quick, because spots are limited.
There's also the latest edition of the Diecast Racing Report is just launched, and it's also going to change to only coming out monthly now. But as always, it's chock full of diecast goodness.
And we mentioned this before, we know that over 70% of you watching this video right this minute haven't subscribed yet. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, do us a favor, please click that subscribe button.
Geek Toolkit has done a great video on making a custom track timer. Now, their track's designed for everything from Hot Wheels to Lego, so it's a little bit different, but the track timer is awesome. There's a link in the description to the video. Definitely go and check that out if you're looking to make your own track timer.
And then EVOSparks Diecast normally does just standard reviews, but this time he was showcasing this awesome showroom diorama that he's selling.
Wow, that's wicked.
There's a link in the description. Head over and check out his channel and you can find out how to make that wicked diorama all yours. Alright, enough news, let's crack into the racing. First up, we're going to head over to Rust Belt Racing and more micromod craziness. We've loved watching this series so far, it's been a lot of fun. Have a look at that one.
Now, Scorpio Love Smith did something really cool. It was doing a drag track in a very small area. So this is inside or on top of an entertainment cabinet, but it's fully dioramaed. It's really, really cool. Plus some good racing as well, as always. If you haven't seen it, have a look at Scorpio Love Smith. There's a link in the description to his channel.
Then we head over to WeRaceDiecast and the Factory 500. Now, interestingly, there's quite a few tracks at the moment running Factory 500 racing, so it's quite interesting to see how the cars do on all the different tracks. We obviously ran a couple in the Mustang tournament, but a lot of fun, and I love that mid-track jump there. It's very Canyon-esque.
DAE Diecast Racing had their drag race. Now, this particular one I wanted to show you, because check this out. Which lane do you think wins?
Well, I would have said the blue car.
Yeah, but look at this. He's tripped the end sensor there, but it doesn't go off, and it's actually, the light comes on for the second car.
Wow, hadn't seen that before. That's something to keep an eye on with those gates. Alright, now we're going to head over to Low Country Diecast. They did a huge live drag racing event with this really cool track. Lots of good action there.
Wallside Diecast continued on with their Asada Cup, and this was awesome. This race here, I just love it. This Mustang pulls ahead of the McLaren, then gets pulled back in as the McLaren goes over, but the Mustang gets himself righted, muscles the other guy out of the way, and then wins the race.
Hot Wheels boys were doing a series of very quick races that are like less than a minute long videos. Have a look at their channel for those.
BlueLine Racing, these cars have just come back from King of the Mountain over at 3D Botmaker's channel, and this is like a grudge match going on. Very good racing there.
Now Simpson Diecast doing something a little bit different, adding a U-turn to their track this time round.
And Mr. Mom's Racing, we mentioned before about the 500 horsepower cars. Mr. Mom's Racing were also doing it. This is one of our favourite drag tracks. It's a huge, monster long track. I think it's one of the longest drag tracks currently in the diecast world. Great theming, and I just love their camera angles. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it's a definite standout in drag racing for me too. Hot Wheels Calgary continued on with their daily racing as well, so lots of good action there, and if you're looking for regular diecast racing, that's where you go.
Now, Summers Raceway have been quiet for the last couple of months, but they're finally back into it, continuing on with their 5-pack racing.
Now, Brunhilda Hills, this is probably more a special event than traditional drag racing, but we do enjoy this. Those flip-off tracks are hilarious.
And then Main Street Racing had a great series of races with some very tight drag racing here. And again, this is back to your pure drag racing, so if that's what you're into, head over to Main Street Races.
Time for a quick break, we'll be right back. Release your inner Frank with this classic Give It the Beans t-shirt available from chaoscanyonmerch.online. Welcome back, Diecast fans. It's time for tournaments, and we're going to kick off with the DIRS at RTR Diecast Racing League. So, Mike Mays over at Mays Mountain Motor Speedway has done a fantastic job. This race here, this beautiful car out in front, that happens to be the Canyon car winning that race. But we wanted to also show you this one because there has been some spectacular racing. Look at the blue car there, second place, ducks back in for a last minute pass.
Wow, that's amazing.
It certainly was, mate. Look at this. Just a beautiful overtake right before the line to take that win. And there is just race after race like that.
Now, the Mustangs got completely wild at the Canyon. This one here, that's the Zombie just getting absolutely spanked off the track. And he wasn't the only one. It was just Carnage City, but there was still some good racing there as well.
Yeah, that was just a huge amount of air from an accident. Probably should have been in replays of the week.
Oh, don't worry, mate. There's plenty still.
Now, Top Driver have their NASCAR tournament carrying on. And again, lots of good, fast racing action on this track. And I love this battle for second and third there. Just blocking and overtaking. Brilliant action there.
Diecast Draggor also had some great action this week in the Bring Your Beast tournament. Check this out. So you got the Roger Dodger behind. And I think it's a Mustang out in front. I can't quite remember. But the blue car gets out in front and then blows it right in the last straight, lets the Roger Dodger come through, and man, he only just won that. Check this out. He comes through, nicely avoids the other car, and then just rolls up. I think he's making a point that I'm going to win this by just a nose.
All right, Monster Motorsports over at Pacific Rim Speedway. Fantastic muscle car series. Lots of very, very nice muscle cars in this tournament, and just some very tight racing action. Great stuff. And again, he does these races live on Facebook so you can interact with him, and then puts it on YouTube the next day.
Alley Cat Racing have this tournament, and this track is brutally hard. That car there was one of the few to make it that distance, but a lot of fun there.
Now, Game Table Cafe, we featured these guys a long time ago, but they are back to more regular racing, and it is awesome. Really enjoying the track and some good racing action here as well.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
It sure is, and again, relatively new track, so make sure you go and support them.
Now, Psychedelic Speedway for Diecast Racing Reports channel put on a charity race for Feeding America, and they raised $255, which is just awesome. Really like these charity tournaments. Just like us with the Mustang tournament, raised over $250 for Hospice New Zealand as well. There's a lot of good charities out there, and it's nice to be able to give something back from the community. But this was some of the last racing on this particular track because Kits had to pull this specific track down, and they're rebuilding soon.
Now over to Tune Tracks Racing for the Threes Racing, and it is really getting down to the wire now. And we just love this race here. On this track, there are so many good last-minute overtakes. You see the Nova just get stuck there, and then this white car comes out of nowhere from left behind, takes the win.
Indiana Diecast Racing's Sock Hop Slam has been an absolute blinder of a tournament. So many beautiful vehicles.
And shed loads of them.
Well, that's right, over 170 cars entered in the competition, which means there's plenty of racing action over on Jim's channel. Definitely go and check that one out. It's an awesome series.
Meal Ticket Raceway. Now, we love this track. This is a huge, huge track. But check this one out. This is the first time we've seen this happen. So the car out in front comes down here, this black car out in front, goes over this first hump, gets a bit sideways, and actually goes right off the track. And then it doesn't stop there. So the dude that takes over first place stalls out. Then there's this huge battle between these guys, and another car goes down. I've never seen so many cars wreck in such a short space of time on that track.
All right, Poverty Hollow had the Spectra Flame Wide Open tournament. So this is just time trials at the moment, but there are some beautiful cars here, and I just love the paint job on this green car here. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, those Spectra Flames are very nice. Now, Diecast GT. This is the channel where they recreate the car's livery in Forza Motorsport. So check that out. But I love this overtake of this purple Mustang here with the flames. Gets in front just enough and then savagely blocks the guy to take the win.
Wow, that was awesome.
And apparently a lot more controlled than the Mustangs on our track for some reason. I don't know what the guys are doing at the Canyon, but some great racing at Diecast GT.
Now, Next Gen Diecast, these guys have only been on the scene a short time, but they are absolutely exploding, and I can see why. Some great racing action. These Pixar cars are a lot of fun to watch, and some beautiful production values over on that channel.
Now, finally, in tournaments tonight, we've got Gwinyoyo. We missed these guys last time. They were racing, but unfortunately, we just had some problems downloading the video. But lots of good action, as you can see. Some big accidents happening.
Now, into street racing, we're going to kick off with Canyon Outlaws, and this particular race between Scud and Click. So Scud and Click have battled backwards and forwards for a long time, but this race here was spectacular. They went into Kahuna Corner, literally door handle to door handle. Look at this. Neither driver backing down as they slammed into Kahuna Corner, but Click coming out victorious with a stunning drive. It was absolutely brilliant. Props to Xanthopy for that one.
Then we go over to Commotion Diecast for his series, and this track is turning out to be a real beauty.
Oh, plus the commentary is just hilarious.
This guy, check this out, wins the race, but somehow just gets that corner wrong, goes off camber, but slides through to the finish to take the win. Very fast, very entertaining.
And we're also really enjoying MNM, and I like this little crossover that he's added up the top. And again, some very close racing action and some good stuff. It's a lot of fun to watch. Love what you're doing, buddy. Keep it up.
Then over to Hot Car Track for Road Warriors, and this particular race was awesome. So you see the Mini gets out in front, blocks, spins out, reverses down, and then this awesome last minute overtake for Lily the dog to take the win. It was just beautiful.
Now, Transport Diecast Racing have their Kings of the Crest tournament, and again, this was the first track in the DIRS. If you haven't seen that for some reason, please go back and watch it. It's one of the longer fat tracks out there and a lot of good action on it.
Cleveland City Diecast Racing and their new fast track for street racing. Loved this one as well. Talking of last minute overtakes, watch that Corvette just slip by the Audi right at the end. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, mate, and speaking of fantastic, I just love Flat Rabbit. These guys always do something a bit different, and this week it was part stop motion, part racing, part music video. It just had everything. Absolutely love what these guys do, and I just love their track. It was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'm a big fan of them too.
And of course, we'll see a bit more of Flat Rabbit coming up in a little bit.
And then King of the Mountain over at 3D. So I felt really sorry for this limo. He was probably actually the faster of the cars, but it just kept getting blocked by everybody and just had a lot of bad luck. Didn't get ahead. But those two cars there, beautiful job just avoiding that wreck. It was absolutely brilliant bit of driving.
Now, into special events, we start off with Roadrunner Raceway doing something different, and it's more of a demolition style, so just straight up smashing people off the track.
Then Beaverworks for our favourite Stoned Road. Absolutely love this track, and this beast of a truck made it look easy, but we know that it is absolutely not.
And then it was the finals of the DRC. So this has been a lot of fun. We talked about this track a number of times. You know, 3D launched it, got a lot of criticism, but I think he's completely proven his critics were wrong, and the track has provided some great entertainment so far and some very good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, as always, incredible production values. And then Flat Rabbit again doing this wicked monster truck tournament. This is going to be huge. So we've actually sent a couple of trucks over for a later monster truck tournament. I believe the entries are closed now, but this outdoor racing was awesome.
I just love how they custom build so many tracks. Now, something quite different. This was Hawkeye Hauler Diecast. So he normally does traditional racing, but he's doing different stuff this time with the creator sets in setting up all these very long, complicated tracks. It was just a bit of fun.
Now, tracks by, we've got quite a few tonight, and there's a full range. So we're going to start with HH Racing Diecast. So again, these are all new tracks. They're sort of maybe a month old in most cases, and just an interesting track. And I like that little turn at the end. I presume the finish is just before there.
Then Gravity Track GP, for you drag racing fans, was doing a 6-lane, very long outdoor drag race. It was a lot of fun as well.
Then we've got Tokyo Diecast. So this is a small track completely handmade out of cardboard. And I mean, props, dude. We've said it before. The fun comes from making a track out of what you've got on hand and just getting racing. So well done. Have a look at that track. Then Florida Diecast Racing, the channel name is actually Chuck Stewart.
But very nicely themed track and some fast racing on this track as well. It looks like it could be a good one to follow.
This last one though is something special. Thanks to Leafar Sam for pointing this one out earlier today. Love this track. This is a pure rallycross track and it is phenomenal. The theming is incredible, and I don't know if you noticed, but that first corner is a drift corner and there's a slight drift into this corner as well, and then it comes down to this amazing off-road section. Fantastic track. If you haven't seen it yet, get over. You're going to want to subscribe there. Hi, this is Dave from Dave's Nut Shack. You like eating my nuts? Now tell your friends to eat them too with this awesome t-shirt available from chaoscanyonmerch.online. Dave's Nut Shack. Get them in your mouth today. That's right, another shameless plug for our merchandise. Alright, let's crack into the replays of the week, and we had to kick it off with Big Ear Dylan over at 3D Botmaker. This dude just got crazy this week. I mean, he had some big air last week. We featured him in the replays of the week last week, but this week he just went massive. Like, that was the biggest leap so far, and just very nicely done.
Then back to the stone road. We said before that other truck made it look easy, but you can see here it is an incredibly difficult piece of road. You cannot take your eyes off the road for even a second, or you end up on your roof. Now, technically this wasn't a race, but it was in the shorts for Flat Rabbit. Have a look at that and stay tuned and subscribe to his channel for more. That tournament's going to be epic. And then this replay from Monster Motorsports. I don't know if you caught that. So there's a car over, I think it was Big V, goes wide, slams into a light post and knocks the other guy out as his first quadruple DNF. Then Tune Tracks Racing, this BMW goes wide, bounces off a spectator car over the Yesco and crashes. And then back to RTR Diecast and the DIRS, and that was Rubber Toe coming from last place to first. It's brilliant. Now, there was so much action at the Canyon this week for the Mustangs, and last week. They were all over the place. It's no wonder there's so many Mustang fail videos online. But check this one out. Zombie comes through here, cuts through the inside, gets around the other drivers and gets down. It was just an impressive move. And then here, it wasn't all carnage. You had Idiot Luggage out front and Shelby Mays with a stunning overtake to take first place. That was just brilliant. Yeah, and then don't forget about this one. That was Beau Shea there, just in the red car, spinning around like a mad thing. They all seem to be trying to outdo each other with the next gymnastic type move. Alright, we say it all the time, but make sure you head over to redlinederby.com. They have got all of your diecast needs, whether you're looking for races, whether you're posting your own races, whatever it is, head over and check them out. And of course, remember to go and visit all of the channels in the report, and if you like what they're doing, including us, make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. It helps these channels out immensely. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spinners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We'll see you next time.